I'm here, bitches. They didn't lose.
Yeah, team's here this week. I was actually gonna open with welcome to this episode, and for those that are watching, you notice Epteen is here, which must mean the Raiders won. Yeah, Epteen. For those that skipped last week's episode, Epteen threatened to not show up in the event the Raiders lost.
It wasn't even a threat. Like, it was done.
It wasn't a threat. It was a promise.
It was a promise.
My mom used to say that crap to me all the time when I was a kid. It's not a threat. It's a promise. I was like, that doesn't change the severity.
I still feel threatened.
It still feels the same way. It doesn't matter.
All right, well, this is the Objectively Wrong show. That's John. I'm a teen. We're back, and
it always sounds funny to me when you say it backwards.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You go. It doesn't matter to me. That's okay. Fine by me. But no,
I'll say it the way you want it to hear.
I usually say
John now. This is the teen.
No, considering I know what your day-to-day schedule is, I would rather be John.
Oh yeah, my schedule sucks.
Honestly, both our schedules kind of suck because I just got home. It's 7:30, and I left at 9:30. Anyway, but now I'm ordering a vegan burrito.
Anyways, there's
shout out Veggie Grill, not a sponsor, but y'all pimping.
I will have to try the vegan burrito.
You do. I mean, it's really you're not gonna be like, oh, I love this. You're gonna be like, okay, that's better than I thought.
No, okay. See, my thing with vegan food is it shouldn't try to replace meat. It should just try to be good food.
I gotta tell you something. Their vegan fish taco, you would not. I actually, if I were to taste test it blindfolded,
I can't believe that.
Listen, I get it right, but not every time.
Oh my god!
Their burger.
What are you comparing it to? A fillet of fish?
No, like a Rubio's.
Oh crap! Okay,
like a Rubio's fish taco.
Yeah, okay.
It's legitimately decent. I can't pretend like it's not. Their buffalo wings are obviously tofu. I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, that's not. Hey, that's chicken. It's not. But it's still very good.
I saw a post of a vegan restaurant. They literally stuck their tofu buffalo wings with wood to keep it in a wing shape. So you bite into a tofu wing and there's just a piece of wood there.
That's gross.
That's very vegan.
Well, it's like a popsicle. There's a place next time you're down in LA. There's this place near. It's not that near. It's actually a commitment to go to it. But there's a vegan place in Santa something that has vegan grilled cheese that are. It's not grilled cheese. Obviously grilled cheese is grilled cheese, but it's weirdly addictive.
Okay.
How good it is. You could eat 7. I'm not even
what they dusted with cocaine.
Probably. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna, and I'm not a vegan. I mean, I'm not a vegan, but there are certain things that I'm just okay, I could try. I gotta have vegan tonight. When I have I know the vegan that I like to get, and it is capable. It's very good.
If I didn't get food.
Yeah, if I didn't want vegan, did you eat yet?
No.
Oh, then I feel.
Yeah, can you tell we both haven't had dinner yet?
Yeah, right. Anyway, let's talk about the things that matter this week. The Phillies go to the World Series. I'm thrilled.
Baseball sucks.
But they're playing the Astros. So everybody's on our side right now, and that's a good thing. And I'm gonna call my shot real quick.
All right.
Phil's in 5.
What is a series of 7?
Out of 7.
That's a pretty big win.
So here's my case. The Astros have yet to lose in these playoffs.
Okay.
The Phillies have yet to lose at home in these playoffs.
Okay.
I anticipate the Phillies are going to beat the Astros in a similar way they beat the Padres, which is steal one of the first 2 away and be unbeatable at home. And that would be 5. If they lose a game at home, shit. That's where the series becomes a problem. Because if you drop the first two and drop any game at home, you're in bad shape. So I don't. No betting odds say the Phils are going to win this. Everybody thinks it's the Astros. They're one of the best two teams in the majors on paper, and they're hot at the right time. But there's something about these Phils, man. There's something about these Phils. I keep dancing on my own. I can do that because it's stupid.
Okay.
It's only one line. I can't do like 6 lines. And if you don't know what that means or why that's like a thing applicable right now, every time the Phils win a series, that's getting blasted because one of our players was like, "That was what happened at my last team." So we've adopted it, and it's just our thing this time around. I don't understand it.
Okay.
Remember when the Eagles had Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares for the Super Bowl run?
Yeah, I still thought it was a bad song.
Yeah, but he's at least from Philly.
Yeah.
Meek Mill's a Philly guy.
I understand the decision.
Right. Now this time it's Callum Scott's Dancing on My Own, and I don't fully understand why, but
that title by itself fits, the Phillies.
There's a kind of right. There's a I guess that's why it makes sense. I mean, there's an unofficial.
Look at your mascot and tell me he's not dancing alone.
there's an unofficial Philadelphia city anthem. No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We're from Philly. Philly. No one likes us. We don't care. It's very lame, but it's very funny. And I have sung that on a train at least twice in my life. For no reason. Once after an Eagles game, the other time on a Wednesday. Let's begin the episode.
Speaking of Philadelphia, Robert Quinn. For nothing, by the way. He literally cost the minimum.
This is 3 weeks of epic Philadelphia sports stuff. This is unstoppable.
I can't wait for the crash.
It's gonna hurt so bad. It's gonna hurt so hard. Yeah, Robert Quinn. See, here's the funny thing about Robert Quinn. Obviously, last year, 18.5 sacks, which is mechanical.
It's not happening again.
Well, no, he's got 1 through 7. It's not enough.
Yeah.
He's 1 year older. He's 1 year slower. Although, again,
double teamed a lot.
He's double teamed at a higher rate than any Eagle by I think 60% more than any other Eagle. The Eagles don't currently have the ability to be double teamed. You can't really do it because what are you going to do? Double team the undersized Hassan Riddick? Well, okay, Fletch. That's all I'll respond with. Okay, Fletch, try. Jordan Davis is on the field. You kind of have to double team him.
God, people forget Jordan Davis is an Eagle.
Oh, I don't.
Philly.
The thing with Jordan, no, people are going to start forgetting Nakobe Dean's an Eagle because the linebackers are outperforming their billing and he's not playing. He's straight up not playing. He's on teams. But TJ Edwards has been a huge improvement, and Kaiser White is actually good. I don't think you and I knew coming out of college, Kaiser White's got something.
Yeah.
The thing was he was stuck. He was a hybrid safety linebacker. So we're like, well, what is he going to play? He gained a couple pounds, became a linebacker. He's actually quite good.
Also, if you look at the Eagles, next how many more games do we have? 10, right?
I got 11.
11, yeah. Okay. So 11 more games. And if you look at them, the Eagles don't play a good offense for the rest of the year.
No, we do not.
It's going to be fun in Philadelphia.
Listen, this is the kind of trade that reeks of what the Birds did back in the day, back in 2017.
Wait, I got this. Jay Ajayi, 4th round.
You got it.
I got this. I listen. I pay attention.
Jay Ajayi, it reeks of it. It's the same trade. It's the same trade. Now, the following year, it was Golden Tate for a 5. We don't need to talk about that one, but he was okay, actually. I'm not going to – Golden Tate made a catch that won us a game. I think it won us the wild card game that year against Chicago.
And that's obviously the round pick.
Obviously, that was the double doink game as well. But yeah, no, he played a part. He was worth what we did for him.
Plus, Robert Quinn, right? You're not paying him after this year. You're going to let him walk.
I have to assume 13.5 next season. I just don't see that
wherever
happening.
he goes, you're going to get a comp pick back.
Yeah.
So really, this is a 4th for a comp 6 the following year.
Depends on the contract. I mean, he's
not going to get another big contract.
He'll be 33. He may get a 3-year deal. He could feasibly. I think the better look is probably a 1 for 9 or something like that. 1 for 9, 1 for 10. And that'll net me a 5 or a 6. I don't know how the formula works.
Hell, if he wins the Super Bowl, though, he'll get more.
That's correct. The reality is this: the Eagles decided to spend a 4. Actually, I'll structure it this way: the Bears are eating the entire contract, so the Bears effectively paid $7 million for a 4th-round pick.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, that's bad. That's when you look at it from that perspective, that's a bad purchase.
It's weird that it wasn't a 3rd.
Well, for that amount of money.
Yeah.
For that amount of money, yeah. Howie Roseman is a god. Marcus, did you see the video of Marcus Spears?
No.
Marcus Spears was on TV today on ESPN, and he played for the Cowboys back in the day. And they cut to him as they're talking about the Robert Quinn thing, and he's just like this. He's like,
you see Roquan Smith broke down and had to stop the press conference?
Yeah. So
Spears, you should have thrown a 3rd and get both of them.
Apparently it was discussed from what I've heard. From what I've heard, both he and Eddie Jackson were discussed.
Damn, you were like, we'll circle back.
Yeah, so we got a couple days. We got a few days left. There is and I didn't even tell you the biggest rumor I've heard so far, because the Eagles were in on McCaffrey, as we know now. It was Denver, Philly, and San Fran.
What are you doing, Denver?
Denver. We'll talk about. Oddly, we're going to talk about McCaffrey next, and then we'll talk about Denver, because there's a lot to talk about with Denver. But because dear God, but obviously the Niners ended up spending what they spent, but the Eagles and Denver were both in on it. Eagles, to my knowledge, I think it was all they offered was a 3. That was what they offered, and we're not changing it. Apparently, there is a less than...
I would have offered more.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There's a less than confirmable source, as in I don't know to buy this or not, that the Eagles are in on Kamara.
Oh. Well, you couldn't do it before this week? You couldn't do me a favor?
Yeah. So apparently the Eagles are in on Kamara. And the thing is, the Eagles have all the leverage in the world because we also have their 1.
Yeah.
We have New Orleans 1. So
you send their 1 back and you get
not a chance.
Or
no, I wouldn't do it. If I have to lose that 1 to get Kamara, I'm not doing it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not.
Has Kamara even been good? He's been
fine.
He's been fine. Okay.
He's Alvin Kamara. He's a top 10 player. I mean, he's a top 10 running back. It's just the way it is. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving a 1 for. There is no running back in the NFL right now I'd give a 1 for. None. It's a running back.
Oh no, there's one. There's one. I would give it Nick Chubb a 1.
You think for Chubb?
Yeah, I would give it.
I think it's funny. Nobody else except for you and I think Nick Chubb's the best running back in football.
I mean, he's top 2. It's probably not 2.
Who's number 2?
Well, currently, statistically, it's Josh Jacobs. No, really. No,
I understand. It's in the last 3 weeks.
It's crazy. I don't believe it. I think he's playing like a top 5 right now.
It's amazing.
Top 5 running.
You build all that. You build all that offense. You build that offense entirely to throw the ball. And who's your best offensive weapon?
Josh Jacobs.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then can't wait to franchise tag him next year.
So who's your GM is Ziegler, right?
Ziegler, yeah.
Okay, if Ziegler, I'm just straight up. I think Ziegler's a decent mind in this league. If you franchise tag a running back, he's on my shit list. I'm just straight up. That's the end. You will irredeemable. That is
what are running back contracts right now, anyways?
Not taggable.
They're like 15 million.
McCaffrey's got like 90 million. That sways the entire tag.
The hell away.
But you can't because that's what the tag goes by.
What's a deal for like a top 10 running back? It's like what, 12 to 15 right now, right?
Let me see what Nick Chubb's contract is. Nick Chubb's contract is he got paid before he got paid. He got paid before he was supposed to be paid.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than 12.
So it's probably 14 is what I'm hearing.
Let me see what the NFL 2022 franchise tag for the running backs. For running back, here we go. Franchise tag figures for this season at running back is, you know what? Not too bad. It's the only one under $10 million.
Wait, you can franchise tag a running back for under 10?
Yeah.
Then they're going to do it.
Okay, it's 9.5.
They're going to do it.
But hold on a second. That was last year's. I don't know if that's going to be this year's.
I mean,
because
like, what it'll probably be at worst, what, 11 million?
well, if I recall, I think McCaffrey's contract balloons. It does. McCaffrey's contract. Do you know what McCaffrey's cap hit this season is in totality?
Oh, it's like what, 6 million?
It's sub 8. It's 7
Yeah.
something. Next year it goes to 12. So it's probably going to be a $10 million cap hit minimum.
I think they'll still tag him then.
I still think that's disgusting. You can't
10 million for a 10 million for a running back.
You backload a running back contract. You backload the hell out of it.
I mean, they'll probably offer him like 3 years with an overall of like 12 million, and then it'll be backloaded with an out after 2 years.
Wait, how many years?
3
for a total of 12. You said
no 12.
You mean an av of 12?
Yeah.
Okay, you said it. You said overall. I was like,
I mean, I could
4
see
million.
Like,
He's going to tell you to kick rocks.
I could see 3 year 40 million with like 20-ish guaranteed, and then you got an out after 2 years.
I wouldn't do it. This is a philosophical difference. I wouldn't do it. There's no running backs. If Todd Gurley's career is any indication, it's that running backs are replaceable.
I think the problem with Todd Gurley was just
injury.
No. I'm talking about like contract wise. It was just too long of a contract.
It was like 7.
Yeah, like I mean, I think 3 years is fine.
I understand it, team. I just running backs. I mean, listen, Miles Sanders hit the market this year. Is Miles Sanders having the best year of his career? Yeah. Am I going to pay Miles Sanders $10 million? No, not a chance. Not a chance. There's no. I got to pay Jalen.
The cap is inflating, and
I got to pay Jalen
at the same time.
When the cap inflates, so will the salaries.
Yeah.
So 10 will become 12 for Miles Sanders, and no, I got to pay Jalen 40. Like I can't do it. I can't afford that. Because I can draft the next Miles in the second round and pay him $900K for 4 years. I mean, I think
also the difference though is of like the two situations. We got one guy who's very clearly the offense, and then Miles Sanders is just a component.
Let's bring McCaffrey into this real quick though, because he's obviously part of it, and I want to make sure he gets all of our stuff. Let's bring McCaffrey into this conversation because for those that don't know, McCaffrey was traded to the San Francisco 49ers. So now the Niners have both of the running back wide receiver hybrid players in McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel.
And Debo's hurt right now.
And Debo's injured.
So you can only get one shot. You're only allowed one.
Yeah. They are destined. I don't
I think okay. I'm gonna say my piece. I think it's an awful trade. If I was San Fran, just getting McCaffrey right now, right? Signals to me that you think you're winning it this year. Like you're going for it all. And you have Jimmy at quarterback, who you don't like. Like you've actively proven to me that you do not like Jimmy Garoppolo.
It seems pretty clear.
Yeah. And then it's a running back in San Fran. How many running backs does San Fran get a year? And how many end up injured or on the IR for the entire season? Like 90% of them.
I think what's funny, I thought you and I were going to have the exact same take on this, and we have a close one. But when I see Christian McCaffrey was traded for essentially half of a draft.
Yeah, the middle rounds.
2, 3, 4, and I think next year's 5 or something.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Bananas. Because at that point, I might have at that point just been like, have a 1 and be done with it. Because the draft is a game of quantity.
It's just like they brought in McCaffrey, and then they sold every pick that the Panthers would use to replace McCaffrey.
Right. And by the way, McCaffrey is probably the one of like 2 running backs in this league that you can't replace. Mm-hmm. Like McCaffrey is special.
He's just hurt all the time.
And Derrick Henry is gigantic. Those 2 players you can't objectively replace because they're specimens. They're just different beings. They're like created in a lab, those 2. But the reality of this problem for San Fran is you say, okay, they're chasing a Super Bowl.
They're trying to save Kyle Shanahan's job.
That's my take.
Yeah.
That's my take. His ass is on fire. That's the reality. His ass is on fire.
But I mean, I guess what? Who's the GM? John Lynch, right?
John Lynch.
What
his ass is also on fire.
Yeah, he probably thinks he's out first. or
That
something.
guy's ass has been on fire since he drafted Solomon Thomas, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I understand the Mitch Trubisky trade is still one of the greatest robberies in NFL history. I got it. But Solomon Thomas, really? The guy stunk. The guy stunk. Nothing about him was good. He did nothing right.
But I don't know. It's an unstable situation. And like bringing McCaffrey, I feel like doesn't solve your issues. Your issues are your defense is completely shot to hell by injury. That's McCaffrey doesn't solve that. Your quarterback isn't good. I mean, we saw McCaffrey play with Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Cam Newton, PJ Walker. I mean, the Panthers aren't a winning team. It doesn't fit to me. And then you're saddled with this contract. You've lost all these picks.
There's not a lot of good choices to be made right now by the San Francisco 49ers. I think the Niners are in bad shape. I might rip it down. Honestly, I might rip it down. And they just gave Debo like the Briggs truck. Like I don't. Now I understand maybe why Debo wanted out initially. Like I'm starting to get it. Because before it didn't make a lot of sense. His argument was workload, which makes sense. But then I was like, well, wait a minute. You're not going to go to a better team. It was like, oh, well, the Jets maybe. It's like, well, that's horrible. That sounds terrible. Now they're like, what, 4-2? I was like, oh, God, that sounds terrible. But like, no, the Jets have been better. The Jets have been improved. I'm still not going to say it because Breece Hall's done for the year, too. We didn't even put that in the notes. But Breece Hall ripped up his knee.
No, I was going to mention when James Robinson trade comes up. The funny thing about this trade though, is even if San Fran didn't make it and it was the Rams that made it, because it was between those two at the end.
Right.
I would hate it just as much if I was the Rams.
Probably.
Like both of these teams, I don't see you getting Christian McCaffrey into solving it.
How desperate are the Rams right now? Like the Rams to me are the second most poorly situated team. They won a ring last year. I think the second most poorly situated team in the NFL behind Denver.
The Rams do not care.
You're third, by the way.
The Rams.
The Raiders are third. The Rams don't give a shit.
And it's evident by their play.
Well, their O-line doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Their quarterback.
The coaching's bad.
As the founder of the Church of Matthew Stafford, I'm going to proclaim him.
He's left the building.
I'm gonna proclaim him washed.
I don't know. The Rams can still
or hurt. I'll just call him hurt because he is. He's throwing with a bad elbow.
The Rams they can probably still win their division, which is saying something. But no, these are two teams that are weirdly ripe for a rebuild and completely like fire the front office and let Sean McVay retire to his broadcasting career that's already set up. Let Matthew Stafford like relax.
You got to give Matthew Stafford like the Tony Stark at the end of Endgame treatment. I'm just like, you can rest now.
You can rest now.
You can rest now. You can stop throwing. You can stop throwing 60 balls a game. Like you can rest.
What would they even do with McCaffrey? I mean, like they wouldn't run at all.
What would the Rams have done with McCaffrey?
Yeah, they would just like throw him into the flat.
Further buried Cam Akers into the broom closet.
I mean, Cam Akers is gone.
You know what? I don't know if he is because they can't. Like nobody wants him.
He's literally like Sean McVay has basically told everybody, listen, Cam Akers' ID card doesn't work in the facility anymore.
I know.
What did Cam Akers say to McVay?
I don't know. This is reminiscent of when Kyle Shanahan was like, Brandon Ayuk has 5 minutes to figure his shit out. And then he did. But this time it's just not working.
It's not even like you have 5 minutes. It's like, you're already dead to me, sir.
That was so stupid. Shanahan's like, he's playing terribly. He must fix it. And then he did. Then he like became capable. It's funny. It's adorable when the Niners are like, he's so bad. I'm like, I have Rieger. And that was it. That was the sadness.
James Robinson is now a Jet. Speaking of running backs who have problems with their coachings.
It was funny. The day before, there was somebody in my my other fantasy league text me trying to like figure out a trade for a wideout, and I've got Nuke and I've got a lot of options. You and I need to discuss this one actually a little bit, not tonight because I don't want to do it yet. But I'm buying my time in a very big way. I'm taking a strategic loss this week in fantasy.
Okay.
I don't want to cut anybody, but I don't have a quarterback to play.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to take a strategic loss because I'm in second. So I can take the loss and still like I just got to get in the playoffs. I don't want to make a cut. I can't cut Deonta Foreman yet. Can't do it. I need another week. Chuba Hubbard got hurt. I need another week.
Yeah.
But and I can't cut Tony Pollard now. So I can
start him now.
I have no other options. I can cut my IDP and add a quarterback and just play with no IDP.
That might be worth it.
It's probably worth it. But anyway, so here's the point I was going to make. He and I discussed a trade the other day, and we were talking about Jacksonville, and I was like, God, it's weird that Robinson and ETN, basically the same player on the same team. It just doesn't fit right.
Yeah, but Doug Peterson's like, Robinson's dead to me.
Yeah, he just said to me, he was like, man, ETN probably needs to get out of there. I was like, have you seen Robinson touch the ball in 2 weeks? He's like, yeah, come to think of it, no. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason. And then sure enough, he's gone. I texted him back. I was like, you were saying? He's like, all right, you got it.
Speaking of Jets, though, this really doesn't move the needle for me.
No, it doesn't do anything.
This is still a huge loss, guys.
Yeah. Like, oh no, I lost Breece Hall. Let me replace it with Travis Etienne's backup. You got done. Why'd you go for Chubb? James Robinson's a better player than people give him credit for, but like, why did I say Chubb? I meant Hunt.
Yeah.
Why don't you go after Hunt? Why don't you go after Kareem Hunt?
He's only worth like a 4th-round pick, right?
Who gives a shit? Do it.
No, what I'm saying is like that would be the market for it.
Yeah.
4th-round pick.
That's the reporting. I don't know if it's accurate, but that is the reporting.
Speaking of players doing much, much worse than they thought, Russell Wilson.
Dear God. Well, first, I'm gonna throw the quick one out.
Okay.
Real quick. Matt Ryan was benched.
He deserved it.
Yeah, nobody cares.
The play was really that bad.
But why is Sam Ehlinger?
Oh, because
he's young, right?
It's
because he's young in UT. It's because he's young in UT. You've got Nick Foles on the roster. You tease it. Just play him, you cowards.
Frank Reich is like, I don't want to win the Super Bowl that bad.
I don't want to win the Super Bowl again. I can't play Nick Foles. I heard a weird rumor that Jonathan Taylor might be on the trade block.
Do it.
There's no reason not to.
You need a full rebuild.
Rip it down.
And
somehow the O-line is bad.
You will get a 1st-round pick for Taylor. You would want
100%. Quentin Nelson. Trade Quentin Nelson.
You can't trade Quentin Nelson.
Trade him to me, please. The only flaw I have is right guard.
No.
The only O-line flaw I have.
I get O-line.
I get all of them. Do you know how much I have?
Quentin Nelson.
What?
I should really trade a 1st-round pick.
Yes, you should. You should trade Devontae Adams for Quentin. You should trade anything for Quentin Nelson. Your team in particular should trade anything for Quentin. Trade Carr. Doesn't matter. Trade him. You'll need a new one soon anyway. Trade him. The Colts are really bad at that kind of thing. They'll do it.
Yeah, who do you think they bring in next? Is it Mac Jones? Or is it Bailey Zappi?
It's going to be Jimmy.
You think it's Jimmy?
It's Jimmy or Mitch. It's one of the two. It's Jimmy or it's Mitch.
Well, it should be like Baker.
By the way,
Baker walks in and he's like, well.
I'm already proclaiming victory on Bailey Zappi. This show needs to claim victory on Bailey Zappi.
Like our literal note was like, probably the best backup in the league.
By the way, if Brock Purdy hits, I need to be hired by NBC Sports. Because if Brock Purdy does anything of note ever, I called it a year ago.
Yeah, if Brock Purdy wins a football game.
If Brock Purdy throws a pass and it looks competent, I win. This is how I win.
So Russell Wilson's bad. He has a terrible personality. Nathaniel Hackett's seat is hot.
Real quick, if you are ever on an airplane and you're working out in the row, I'm going to hit you.
You're the second worst person
on the plane.
The first worst person are
people
the
that clap on planes. Clap.
And it's not, like, not even like a real clap. They're like,
yeah. Listen, if you are working out on the plane in the aisles while you're holding, I guess the harmless, it's not harmful. It is relatively harmless.
No. I will tell you what he was doing. I will guarantee you this is what he did.
I know he was doing high knees. He said he was doing high knees.
He was doing high knees, and then he
was
grunting just loud enough that he would wake somebody up so they would know he's doing high knees. And then he waits until they're asleep again, and then he grunts again. I'm telling you, this is what he's doing.
The 30 for 30 documentary on Russell Wilson is going to be stunning.
It'll be the first part will be pre-Ciara, and then
pre-Ciara, post-Ciara. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm sure Ciara's not the problem. I'm just saying, like, there is a timeline to these things. Yeah, Mr. Unlimited's an unlimited level of douchebag right now. This is pretty weird. That Subway commercial tried to get me pregnant.
I didn't see the Subway commercial.
Gross. The Danger Witch. It's so stupid. He's like bite you like.
Do people still eat Subway?
I still eat Subway.
Really?
Can't you tell by my physique? Yeah, no, I do.
God, I had a really bad.
You know how close my Subway is.
Yeah, I know. Your Subway's
downstairs.
Yeah.
Like, it's too convenient. If it weren't as convenient, I probably wouldn't get it.
I don't think I've had Subway in like 10 years.
You had it with me during draft study. We were at Allie's house. We ordered Subway for lunch.
Damn, that's really disappointing.
That's a thing we did.
We could have had Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's, in my opinion, is better.
It's also way more expensive.
It's way more expensive.
Yeah.
Their bread's also hit and miss, though. Have you noticed sometimes Jersey Mike's bread's like a little hard?
No, because I don't get Jersey Mike's enough to notice that.
I haven't had it in a while.
I think like I'm guaranteed one time a year for draft day. And then besides that, I don't really like go out of my way for Jersey Mike's.
Let's finish with Denver real quick.
Bradley Chubb should go to the Eagles.
So that was rumored. That was heavily rumored. And then Robert Quinn happened. And honestly, I prefer. Okay. I think me mentally from a team building mindset, I would have rather like Brian Burns. But it was going to cost me. It was going to cost me way too much.
Okay, let me say my piece about Bradley Chubb. He's not good, people.
He's not as good as his name is.
I get that he was drafted in a high slot, but I've experienced him for 4 or 5 years now.
Yep.
He's not that good.
This is year 5.
He's not that good. He's incredibly overrated. And if he's playing, he's either playing with an injury or on the IR. He's like, this is not a good player, people.
It's not an available player.
No.
When he's on the field, he's fine. But that's about it.
It's just I'm seeing words like star edge rusher, and I'm like, no.
Well, I saw the words today, blockbuster for the 32-year-old pass rusher with 1 sack this year. So, and I spent a 4. Man, blockbuster. Like, what? What are you doing, Shefty? Calm down. It's not a blockbuster. I made a basic trade, and again, completely, I Genghis Khan'd the Bears again. Shocking.
Like, I think the most I'd give for Bradley Chubb now is maybe a 3 because you have to pay for him, and he's going to be paid like an elite pass rusher.
You know who he reminds me of right now?
Who?
As far as like entering free agency, he reminds me of Bud Dupree. He's going to be entering free agency with more esteem than he deserves.
Well, I mean, then good for Chubb. He's going to make a great contract.
Yeah, I want to double check, though, real quick, because I want to make sure I'm being fair to both of them. I'm going to look up Bradley Chubb's career sack numbers, and I'm going to compare it with Bud Dupree, because it's a pass rusher. We're talking about sacks. Bradley Chubb this year has actually had a pretty good year rushing the passer.
Yeah, this is like a Denver defense that is almost as good as its Super Bowl winning team.
He's got 5.5 sacks this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's 26 for his career so far. Because listen to these numbers: 16, 4, 14, 7. Those are the available games he played in the first 4 years of his career.
Mm-hmm.
That 4 is bad. That 7 is bad. But that 7 with 0 sacks is worse than the 4 with 1 sack.
You know what's even crazier? They got Chubb to pair him with Von Miller, and it never happened.
They played together maybe like twice.
Yeah.
I don't think it happened very often at all. I think you're right. I don't think it happened very often at all. Maybe a little bit in year 3 in the 2020 season. How did Bradley Chubb make a Pro Bowl with 7.5 sacks?
Because he was he was like a top 5 pick, wasn't he?
No, in 2020 though.
I know, that's all that really matters.
It's the 3rd year.
It's a name thing.
Golly. Yeah, I mean, he was defensive. He was third ranked defensive rookie of the year. He had 12 sacks year 1, but since then, 4 seasons he's only had 14 sacks. Now, 5.5 this year through 7 games is a very good rate. That's a great pace. 5.5 through 7 is a little bit less than 1 a game. That's perfectly fine. Let's go to Bud Dupree, who, as we missed a year, which Chubb also did.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I comp them here, because Dupree and they have similar trajectories. Bud Dupree played a lot longer. 4, 4.5, 6, 5.5, 11.5, 8, 3. The year of 8, he only played 11 games, though. His pace would have, he probably would have broken like 12. I might rather have Bud Dupree. Honestly,
I think the
might
problem
rather
with
Bud.
both of them is they're both great number 2s. Like, you'd be happy if they were number 2.
You know what's funny is that in Tennessee, he is number 2. But Harold Landry's out this year.
Yeah.
So Harold Landry, better than both of them. but he's hurt. That was another one for us. I don't usually give Boston College ups, but we were like, all right, there's something there. Hell yeah. I was dead wrong about Rashawn Gary, though. I thought he was going to be terrible, and now he's like pretty good.
I don't remember where I had him ranked.
You had him middling. You thought I was being too hard.
Oh, okay.
You were closer than I was. I didn't like Gary at all. I thought he was slow out of the blocks. I did not like him at all. But no, I fine. I guess they don't play the exact same position, but they kind of do. So,
anyways, they'll be to an NFC team, probably the Rams. They'll probably try to repeat what they did with Von Miller and like pay to have him for like a playoff push and then send him away.
I mean, yeah, the problem is, he's also going to remind me of now is Clowney, because he's going to enter free agency as the name and get paid the money. So I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, the Broncos playing the Jaguars in London. Nathaniel Hackett's job is literally on the line if you listen to reporting.
There's a shot he's gone like tomorrow or something. Like there's a shot he's gone before year's end.
So
this is becoming Urban Meyer-esque.
So Jerry Jeudy to the Packers is my next guess. Cortland Sutton. Dallas, maybe?
By the way, if we want to do, because we'll probably shoot next Monday night. What is Halloween? Are you doing any Halloween?
Well, kind of. I just got invited to a party. I don't know if I'm going to.
Well, I'll need to know what time that is.
On the 30th.
Okay. Because if not, we may have to shoot an episode Sunday.
Okay.
Night. Before the Monday night game is out. Because that'll be our trade deadline episode. Because the deadline is Tuesday. And for those that don't remember our track record of that, we usually record the episode, mention a possible trade, and then it happens.
During the episode?
Yeah. Everson Griffin. So, yeah, we called it, and then literally 10 minutes after we shot the show and sent it to the editor, Chris Theditor, it didn't work out too well. So
shall we go to the games of the week?
Let's get our games done. Go to hell, Nathaniel Hackett. Let me open the doc.
We'll start with...
And team closed a bit of a gap this week.
Oh, yeah, I'm 500 again.
He's back to 500. He is 4 under me.
Let's start
that lead.
Ravens at Tampa Bay, Thursday Night Football. I'm going to go with Baltimore.
Me too.
I just don't believe in Tampa Bay at all.
I'm out on Tampa. I'm so happy to be out on Tampa. I heard a very bad rumor.
Okay, what was the bad rumor?
Tom Brady. I can't say it on here. I know that's such a tease to who just
Okay.
the listeners of this episode. I'm sorry, but I heard a rumor that I cannot share. That if it's true, Tampa Bay is yes, that's correct. The team typed it to me.
He looks like he is.
Yeah, there's a passing rumor that potentially Tom Brady is sick. I can say that part.
Yeah.
I can't tell you with what potentially. I also don't know if it. I don't know how accurate that is.
Okay.
But I have no reason to believe that the source that I heard it from is especially accurate. Okay. So anyway.
The next game is in London. It's the Broncos at Jaguars. And I'm saying Nathaniel Hackett is going to go on a different plane home.
I'm going Jacksonville as well. Jacksonville historically has a decent London record. So I'm just going to go with it.
I mean, it's their city.
It's their hometown.
Yeah.
I'm going with it.
Dolphins at Lions. This is Miami all the way.
Do you know how many points the Lions have scored over the past 2 weeks?
Not
6.
Yeah.
6. They've scored 6 over the last 2 games. 6.
A very fun.
Might have been an average of 6. I forget, but it's still bad.
A very fun matchup suddenly.
Panthers Falcons
at Falcons.
Woo!
I'm gonna stick with the Falcons too. Falcons. I think that was just like a little
12-5
one and done thing for the Panthers.
They're beautiful. They're like the Bears if the Bears knew what they were doing, because they're not throwing the ball, but they're winning.
Patriots at Jets. Everybody hates Mac.
I can't do it.
Everybody hates the fact that he's not Bailey.
No.
The Jets have just lost Breece Hall. It's against New England. I am going to go with New England somehow.
Me too. I can't get there yet, Jets.
Fun game, though.
Something smells gross. Something smells bad over there.
Something smells like Zach Wilson left the house of his best
friend. Seriously. How are you that decent with that? He's not good. He's showing repeatedly that he's not good. What is wrong?
The Cardinals play the Vikings. It's not prime time. I believe in the Vikings. Are we okay? If you're going Minnesota, I'm going to go Arizona.
I'm going Minnesota.
Okay.
I have to go Minnesota. What do you mean? What? Oh, you have to keep the gap. Yeah, you have to play that game. We're both picking Dallas here. Sorry.
Bears at Cowboys. Dallas. Ha ha.
I'm picking the Raiders purely on against the Saints, purely because I want it to happen. Get me Will Anderson, Epteen. Keep doing it.
If it makes you happy, Derek Carr has not lost to the Saints in his career.
Perfect. It's Dennis Allen. Win more games.
Steelers at Eagles. This is Philly for me all the way.
I said this a couple weeks ago. I'm picking Philly till they lose.
Yeah. Giants at Seattle, which should have been the Sunday night game, in my opinion. One of these teams has to lose. I'm gonna go with Geno.
You're picking Geno to win?
I'm picking Geno to win. I think he's just a better quarterback. It's at Seattle.
I was leaning Geno as well.
Yeah. like the Giants' magic needs to end somewhere, right?
It will eventually.
Yeah. So are you going Geno also?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Geno.
Do you notice that I don't write Seattle? I write Geno.
I do notice that.
Commanders at Colts with Sam Ehlinger.
Sam Ehlinger.
It's Carson Wentz won't be back, so this will be Taylor Heineke.
Probably.
Then
who knows? Maybe Sam Howell gets a shot.
I'm going to go Commanders, but it's very 50-50 actually.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's a coin flip. Whatever one you want to pick, give me the other one. I'll take it.
Perfect. I need that.
It's such a coin flip.
Niners at Rams. This is an easy one for me, and it's weird that it is. So I'm going to let you talk first.
Niners.
Damn it. Yeah, San Fran's winning this, guys. It's not close.
Niners. The Rams look like a dumpster fire. I'm sorry, but they look terrible. You can't win in this league without an O-line. You can't do it.
Packers
at you don't know who I was picking for that.
Packers at Buffalo. If you call Packers and they win, I will take 5 shots.
I'm not doing it.
If you call the Packers and they win,
it's Buffalo. Green Bay's so bad.
Not only is Green Bay bad, Aaron Rodgers is openly
I think we're
mocking
foregoing
the coaching
shots
staff.
this week. I think we're getting close to like foregoing shot takes for games because they're all their own little bit of shot.
Yeah. Bengals and Browns Monday night next week.
I'm gonna go Bengals.
Damn it.
Were you? It's a close one. That's a good game.
It's a close one. I'm also thinking it's Bengals, but I will go with Cleveland.
I'm thinking by then Kareem Hunt will either not dress or not play.
I think the biggest problem with the Browns isn't Kareem Hunt. It's the fact that Njoku is not going to be there, which is weird.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, Njoku's hurt.
Okay.
He'll be hurt for 4 weeks. It's why I picked up Austin Bryan on IR. Austin Bryan in our fantasy. I picked him up just to see if he matches the same.
If there's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I honestly think Cincinnati will win this, but I'm gonna be picking Cleveland because I gotta close the gap.
Great.
All right, what are we objectively wrong about today, John?
Today I am objectively wrong. You know what? I'll do one this week. This week I'm objectively wrong, according to Ebteen, about the fact that I don't think a single character in Game of Thrones is a good person. I think they're all dog shit human beings.
I think I wrote you a list, right?
You did, but I started knocking down half of it, and you only refuted like one.
No, because you were busy and you were driving. I'm like, this is dangerous.
But like, here, what is it? I'll do like a couple, and then I know we got to go.
Okay.
I'm going to do a couple. I'll do the ones that we already discussed, though.
Okay.
You wrote the list of Brienne of Tarth. Okay. Brienne of Tarth is one of the most selfish human beings in that show.
She literally is just in love with a guy, but is incredibly loyal to a fault. Like that's her whole thing.
So I'm only in season 6. Her entire motivation so far is self-righteous loyalty. That's all it is.
I mean,
which is the same thing as Jon Snow. Which is the same thing as Jon Snow.
Self-righteous loyalty is given a positive light.
I will provide that Samwell Tarly is a decent person.
Oh yeah.
I think it's because he's too stupid to know any differently. And I also think it's fair. I also think it's fear. That also goes for Hodor. Ygritte is literally her entire existence was to get Jon Snow to have sex. Like that's all she existed for.
Is that not a good character?
I don't know.
No, but I mean, she's there for like.
You wrote when you wrote Grey Worm on here. I was like, Grey Worm is barely a character. He's barely.
He gets more important.
He's barely characterized as a human though in the show so far. Like he's a shell.
You're not there yet. Yeah.
And the one that I think is the one that I mentioned to you earlier that I have to touch on again, Jorah Mormont, who I refer to as David Attenborough. Whenever we watch the show, I just call him that. Because the first 2 seasons, all they did was like, Khaleesi, these are mountains. This is the trees. Like it's all he did was like, this is the nature. I'm like, I don't care. So I just had him as the documentarian.
Okay, you say he betrayed her, right? But
what did I say he did? He objectively did. She cast him out because of it.
He saved her life.
MT.
Yeah.
He is purely charged on boners.
Okay, that's true. But
it's purely sexually charged.
But it's weird. It's really weird. It's even weirder in the books because all the main characters are younger. Like Jon Snow's.
First of all, I know he's like 10. It's like he is. Jorah Mormont is like. It's like I'm a traitor, but I also want to smash. Like that's his whole character. And now he's lying to people about being a rock person. Like, what are you doing? Like everything he's doing. Like, don't let them touch you. Oh no, they touched me. I'm not going to tell anyone. Okay, well you're a dick. You're a dick then. Then you're a dick. And I don't understand. No one in this show, everyone in this show has like that one little bit where you're just like, oh, you're turning and you're a dick. Like, Jaime Lannister at the end of season 4, I was like, okay, you're not really redeemable, but you're improving. You're an asshole again.
I mean, he only thinks with his dick.
You know what's really funny? The fact that the show never, or at least at this point, has never tried to make Cersei redeemable.
She's not supposed to.
No, I know that. It's evidenced. It's evident by the fact that she's objective scum. But anytime I'm just sitting there watching it, she got the shame.
Yeah, the shame.
And the whole time I was watching the show like, like it was the funniest part of the damn show to me. Was her just being like crying, walking down the street naked. And I'm just like, ha ha, you kind of deserve that for the like umpteenth person you've had killed or imprisoned for no reason.
Okay, here. Let's wrap it up with this question. Who's more evil? Cersei or Ramsay Bolton? Have you gone there yet?
I know who that. Oh no, I'm familiar with the character. Who's more evil?
Yeah. That answer probably will change because I don't think you're there yet.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
I am where you think. Listen, if Ramsay Bolton gets worse than what he just did,
to who?
Dogs.
Yeah, he gets. Yeah.
He gets worse than that.
I'm a little messed up on the timeline of the events. There's a chance. Did he do anything to Sansa?
She has left. She jumped off the wall.
Okay, then you're already done.
I'm like 2 episodes past that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The dog's with a baby.
Yeah.
I'm not even like fuck it. It's been years.
Oh, you're almost at my favorite episode.
He sends dogs and has his mother and.
Or did you already do the Battle of the Bastards?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, that's my favorite episode.
I know the term. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I that's a good question. He's more sadistic.
Okay.
He's more sadistic, definitely.
Keep that thought for last season.
Hold on. At this moment, he's definitely more sadistic. But your question of who's more evil is definitely still Cersei. Because Ramsay's sadism is, I don't want to say it's fueled, but it's more believable than Cersei's.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a reason for what Ramsay does, and
I know
it's because he's a bastard child.
I understand that whole nonsense.
He's still, I'm not. This guy's a sick.
No, he's
fuck.
a scumbag. He's a sick fuck. But no, he's a complete sick fuck. But anything Cersei does, I'm just like, oh, Daddy didn't pay enough money. Like it's the whole time. I'm like, there's no reason for this. You're being a bitch to be a bitch. That's all you're doing. You have no function other than being evil. That's all you're doing. Like she's being evil. Like Ramsay's being an evil bitch too, but like it's not. Ramsay's is almost what?
There's levels to this.
Ramsay is almost like self-serving to a good level, whereas Cersei is self-serving to such a devastatingly stupid level. Like, why do you need my son that was obviously inbred, and my other son that was obviously inbred, and my third daughter who is thankfully dead? When she died, I laughed.
Oh yeah, she's on the list, by the way, for like people that were good.
No.
She didn't know anything. She was very innocent.
That doesn't make her good. It doesn't make her good. Tyrion is like the closest to object. Listen. Tyrion is the closest to operating purely from a perspective of trying to make things right.
Yeah.
I'll give you
I disagree.
Second place is probably my favorite character.
Who's your favorite character?
But it's Varys. I love Varys.
Varys is straight up evil, dude.
Varys is so awesome, though. Like, he's just sitting there like, well, my little birds have told me. My little birds have told me that you're a bitch. And anyone that anyone's like, you don't have a cock. He's like, I don't need one. He's just like, he almost like is wearing that with badge of honor. Like, you're the eunuch. It's like, indeed I am. And why aren't you? He's almost proud of it.
You're not using it anyways.
It's like you don't have a cock. It's like, I have no need for one. My cock only served to distract me from my little birds. Like, he's a weird bastard, but like he's entertaining. And he's not, to this level, a complete dick. Early on, way more dickish.
By the way, this is actually relevant. According to George R.R. Martin, he's 3/4 of the way done with the Winds of Winter.
No, he isn't.
He's probably.
I know he said it, but no, he isn't.
He's probably only like halfway done.
He's probably not started.
Can you imagine?
He's hiding it in his hat.
I hope like, even though the last season's not good.
I keep trying to clarify, by the way, like I'm putting this on the internet with like reckless abandon. I actually enjoy the show. Like I enjoy the franchise.
No, like, okay.
But I think when you enjoy a franchise, you have to criticize the franchise. I think it's the way you do it.
My opinion, right? The last season's not good. I still enjoyed the last season.
Yeah. For the Dark World sucks. I still enjoyed it, and it's not good.
It's no, you know what it is? It's the Thor movies, and then the last season's Dark World. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's a shame. That's a really bad way to do it.
Yeah.
Damn. That sucks.
And it's all because of two people.
If one of them is Bran, I'm going to be mad.
No, I'm talking about the producers that left.
Yeah. Benioff and Weiss. Yeah, of course. I on the topic of Bran, shut up. Just stop. The three-eyed raven. Shut up. Just shut up. Let Max von Sydow say more stuff. You need to say less stuff. I think it's funny though. Is Max von Sydow? You know who Max von Sydow is?
Yeah, of course.
Is Max von Sydow's character? And if this is a spoiler, then tell me it's a spoiler. But then don't tell me the answer, obviously. But is he one with the tree? Is he connected to the tree, or is he just a guy that lives there?
So it's kind of weird. It's yes and no. It's like a generational avatar thing.
Let me phrase that question differently. Could he stand up and walk outside the cave physically?
I don't think so anymore.
Okay. They needed to spend more time on that effects budget then. Because it's just a guy in a chair. He's just sitting in a tree. There's no conveyance of him actually being attached to it.
He's you understand, right? That he was once exactly like Bran in his position.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's basically what's happening.
So he can't even walk?
I don't think so anymore.
Is he like Bran in that way? I know he was like Bran.
No. I'm talking about the whole warging thing and
right.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to see more. I'm confused because he strikes me as a man that's active enough to just do stuff. Obviously, I know Bran also gives off that youth, but we know he's handicapped. It's just paralyzed. Paralyzed, right? Yeah.
Also, you do you understand, right? The guy he's playing isn't the character, right?
Guy
when he becomes the tree, when he becomes part of with the tree and becomes the three-eyed raven, what he was before no longer exists. He is now the three-eyed raven.
I understand, but he's a man. Max von
but
Sydow,
that
the man
is gone. It's just a shell.
Okay, so Max von Sydow is there, but Max von Sydow's playing the soul within the vessel.
Yeah, and that
makes some sense.
Passed down.
That makes some sense.
Okay,
now it makes a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why wouldn't the vessel
I'm trying to skirt a spoiler?
I understand. No, that's fair. I appreciate that. Why can't the vessel get up and leave?
Honestly, it might just be a thing where he just can't.
All right. No, that's fair.
The whole process makes
you guys don't come to the show for this, but yeah. We have nerd brains as well. So when you tell me the rules of the franchise are you can't, okay, you can't. That's fine.
I'm really just hoping that this makes you read the books. This is
not going to read the books. I'm not going to read the books. I'm not going to read the books because they're still not fucking done. For one reason. Second reason, I have never been able to get into nerd print. I've never been able to get into that medium.
You know what I just realized?
Huh?
You know when? Because
I'm not even much a comic reader.
Game of Thrones is going to get rebooted. We all know this, right?
Of course.
Yeah, it's going to get rebooted. You don't know when it's going to get.
They're going to cinematize this in a hard way.
They're going to reboot this into movies when he publishes the final book.
Probably.
Because by then it'll be 15, 16 years.
Well, HBO Max is hemorrhaging, so they'll have to sell the damn thing.
No.
What's going to be the purchase price of that IP? That's going to be crazy.
Who cares?
No, not who cares. You say who cares, but Star Wars sold for $4 billion. And Star Wars is worth more, but I don't know. Anyway, that's enough for today.
Yep.
We will talk to you. We're going to try for a trade deadline episode. We're going to see if the stars align. We'll work on it. If there's more bustle that we want to discuss, we'll put it together for a Sunday episode. Try and leave Halloween open. If not, we'll do a trade recap on Tuesday night. All right.
Good night.
Bye.